Alright, welcome back to the Ourcraft MineCraft Podcast. Today, joining me, let me turn on my desktop. Today, joining me is Jub and
Salutations.
Supposedly, a few other people will be joining us. At some point, maybe.
Who's that?
Shadow said she might be on.
Oh.
And let's go ahead and transition right on into MineCraft. I don't know if they're going to continue the conversation, but Chubb and Dream Thief, before we went live, were having a deep conversation around Lord of the Rings lore.
It's probably copyrighted.
Here it is. I found it.
We're gonna jump right into it so that everyone's confused.
We were talking about the line of succession from Isildur. And for those of you that are not intimately familiar with Tolkien's works, Isildur is the guy from the movie who didn't destroy the ring. He's the guy from the memes where it's cast it into the fire, destroy it, and he goes, no.
Why shouldn't I keep it?
That's
Okay.
Bilbo.
No,
That line's from Bilbo, but no. He's the guy who's like, cast it into the fire, destroy it, and he goes, no, and he, just got that look on his face. That's Isildur. Okay, so
Why was I here?
Valandil was the youngest of the four sons of Isildur. Him and his mother sent to Rivendell for safety. Valandil was born in Rivendell. In the same year, the last alliance of elves and men was formed. He was 1 year old, and he remained in Rivendell when the host of Gil-galad and Elendil marched forth. Before he was slain, Isildur became briefly king of Arnor and Gondor. While he had been High King of both realms, he committed the rule of Gondor to his nephew Meneldil, who would become King of Gondor. Okay, with the death of his father and brothers in the disaster of the Gladden Fields, Valandil became heir to the throne of Arnor. But he was 13 years old at the time and would wait until he was 21 to ascend to the throne in the Third Age, the 10th year. He ruled 239 years.
So when the Dunedain first came back from Numenor, they still had the extremely long lives that they had possessed while there.
A bit like post-Diluvian people of the Bible.
Yes.
They don't live quite as long as people did antediluvian, but 200 to 300 years is still up there.
I mean, yeah. It's... He was 260 years old when he died. That's a lot. To go further down this rabbit hole, but definitely to go further down this rabbit hole. Why did the Dunedain have long lives?
They was one of the blessings that they received from the Valar.
They got this in Numenor?
They got that and Numenor, which they, proceeded to lose. Losing it because they couldn't.
Was Numenor the lands of in the west across the sea?
Yes.
Okay.
It was the island nation that the men who had allied with the elves and the Valar in the final battle against Morgoth. Because even when Morgoth reigned, there was a division between good and evil men and higher and lower men. And for their loyalty and their shed blood in the battle against Morgoth, they were granted Numenor, where they could see the Undying Lands if you looked at from very high points. But they were not permitted to set foot on the Undying Lands. They were fine with the ban for a long time, but eventually their more evil kings grew to fear the when the evil kings came to power, they spoke out against the ban. They persecuted and killed a lot of the people who supported the ban and the Valar's wishes. And then eventually the last king of Numenor built a massive fleet and sailed on the Undying Lands. And as soon as they set foot there, they were destroyed and the fleet was overthrown. Elendil had perceived that something really bad was going to happen, that he was the last leader of the faithful, and he was on the other side of Numenor already, in port there, with the rest of the faithful on ships. They had preserved many of the older Numenorian artifacts, including the Seven Stones, which we see Saruman was using in his tower.
I'm really, really sorry about this, but I had to completely delete a blue ice block.
You fool.
Well, I jumped out of my boat and suddenly found myself like two whole
you know how to replace it?
2 whole blocks underneath. Yeah, there's blue ice and stuff. I'll go get some.
So
I had a silk touch. I'm an idiot.
With the artifacts that they had on board, the people that they had on board, and Elendil and his 2 sons, they were already kind of a little away from shore, and they were able to avoid being swallowed when Numenor, because Numenor wasn't just washed with a tidal wave, it was sucked into the sea.
Hold on a second, I'm being called away.
So who's building this giant stone pillar here? What is the purpose of the giant stone block?
I don't even know what you're talking about.
It's like a giant stone block, like not too far from the exit of the portal.
I don't know.
It doesn't have any entrance. I'm not gonna mess with somebody else's build.
I'm back. And Numenor got Atlantis.
Yes, Numenor got Atlantis. Really hard.
I mean,
because a bunch of archangels decided that the best gift they could give people was the utter temptation for long generations of long-lived people.
So Elendil and the faithful, who were also the only ones that remained friends of the elves.
Why
The
you gotta be like
men
that,
had
comrade?
turned against the
Because
elves
it's true.
because the elves had everlasting life and men wanted everlasting life. Even when the elves and the Valar both would frequently say that it was the gift of men to die and go to wherever they went. A destination hidden both from the elves and the Valar, who never knew where men were going. The elves that got killed ended up in a hall in Valinor as spirits, but the men did not. So the faithful,
Let's just hope that it's somewhere good.
the faithful, blessedly being on the far side of Numenor from Valinor, were able to escape the tidal. Tidal wave pushes them across the sea along with a massive storm.
And presumably this takes them towards Middle-earth.
Yes.
Because, like, there's not much in the other direction.
Yeah, no, they are then in Middle Earth, and there is no going back for them. Okay. From there,
Does Minecraft seem especially glitchy to anybody lately?
I haven't been
Like
playing
Bedrock?
Bedrock. They then kind of set up Gondor and set up a massive kingdom of men that stretched from Arnor in the north, where Hobbiton eventually is, all the way south to Gondor.
Oh my goodness, that's amazing.
They conquer lots of people, they unite others to their cause. Unfortunately, they believed their greatest enemy, who is the one that corrupted the kings of Numenor, they believed that he was dead, that being Sauron, because Sauron had been captured and taken to Numenor. And
yeah, and that worked so well the last time that we, captured and took a Dark Lord somewhere.
However, the beautiful form that he had taken to deceive people up to that point was permanently deleted when Numenor fell, and then his spirit returned to his old strongholds in Mordor. Eventually, the fires of Mordor relit in secret, and the kingdoms of men united one final time with the elves. This is where Gil-galad, the last king of the elves, dies. The last king in Middle-earth, dies. And of course, Elendil also dies there, and Isildur refuses to destroy the ring. From that point forward, both the elven and the kingdoms of men kind of really start to degrade until Aragorn takes the throne and restores men. It was also after the fall of Numenor that the Valar ceased to aid anyone left in Middle-earth. Beforehand, there was the occasional Valar that would help people, but they stopped after that point.
Let's see, how much...
This is gonna be a running theme tonight.
More Lord of the Rings questions?
No, I'm going to sit down. We're going to start a conversation, and then I'm going to have to get up to go do something. And then I'm going to sit down, and we're going to start the same conversation over again.
I see. Don't worry, we won't forgive you.
I expect nothing less.
That was never in question.
Frankly, I would be quite upset if we cut him any slack.
I'd be insulted if you did.
You say insulted or assaulted? Because I can't do the second
Two
one from my
peanuts
current
walked
position.
into a bar. One was assaulted.
Oh,
depending on
humor remains.
Terrible. Depending on your particular political ideology, if you're insulted, that might be tantamount to being assaulted.
Cool. I wasn't going to do any special design for the first Stargate, but I can't help myself. I was also going to wait till it was late game, but here I am building a Stargate at my old base.
Not gonna say that we knew this already.
That I wouldn't wait.
Yes.
I am.
You're going to say it?
Yeah, we knew this already.
Oh. Cool.
Well, I wasn't gonna say it, but now that you did, I will agree with it. I agree with Comrade.
Nice to have some validation, finally.
Listen, you don't understand how pained how much it pained me to say that.
What did that just cost you?
That
Everything.
those words burned on the way out of my mouth, really.
I'll bet they did.
I feel like I lost a portion of my soul there.
1, 2,
I think you more
3.
proved you didn't have one.
I mean, this might be a bit harsh.
Nah, I think I'm speaking truth to power.
Oh, there's already a bed here. Wait, there's no trident here, is there?
Which farm are you at? I know it's not a nether-based farm. Oh. I guess not. I thought I had a chest. There might be in the chest all the way at the bottom of the farm. All right, let's write down my first set of gate coordinates.
Nice. 1, 2,
Nope.
3.
Cool. I get
4,
to go pick
Sorry,
a
bud.
5,
trident
6,
box.
7, 8,
Did
9.
we
I'm
did have a
I'm
we
so
had a
close.
trident farm at some point, didn't we? Where
We
is that?
do. Let me see if I actually wrote it down. It's out at Newfoundland if you want to go ahead and start moving that way. Stargate Test World. Here we go.
Like,
Have
I know
some-
I have some at my house. I just, like, for future reference,
I have the coordinates when you're ready.
let me get a piece of paper. Just collided with the side of a mountain at high speed.
2.
This is a
3,
lot of coordinate sheets.
4.
Yeah.
And I'm currently adding to it.
Ready when you are.
Okay. The Trident Farm is at 4,600, 69, 1,400.
Nice.
The gate is so close to spawn that the numbers are 18, 13, 1, 1, 1, 1, 2.
Where's your spawn at?
0, 0, essentially. Well, the original spawn is 0, 0. I'm very close to 0, 0. The spawn that I have now is in the Cauldron, which is the new base.
Man.
Because I'm not creative, and it's just a big volcano cauldron on top of a mountain.
Java World's replacing you closer to 0, 0.
Oh yeah, very much so. I don't think it was exactly on 0, 0, but it was within like 100 blocks.
Well, it is official. I am out of fireworks. What did I use so many fireworks for?
Fun times?
I don't think so.
Okay. Now I need to build a Stargate in the end. And then I can go back to my current base and build one there.
You ever been reading a book and just had a character be randomly introduced and I'm trying to figure out how to describe it. They're simultaneously the most and least interesting character in the room all of a sudden.
I'm not sure.
Because
Didn't Harry Potter's books do that a few times?
Sorry, what was the question? I got distracted for a moment.
you ever been reading a book and a new character is introduced?
Yeah.
And they're simultaneously the... All right, comrade, you're no longer...
Have you ever...
You're no longer allowed to answer the question.
Would you have you ever... I vote comrade be allowed to start all of these kinds of discussions.
He's not allowed to answer the question anymore. I don't care about his answer anymore.
I see, so you're just being judgmental.
Yeah, 'cause that was a stupid thing to say.
Have you ever been reading a book and a new character's introduced? Yes.
No, but like introduced in such a way that they're simultaneously the most and least interesting thing at the same time.
I don't know why, but for some reason the Kane Chronicles keep coming to mind.
What character from the Kane Chronicles made you feel this way?
I don't know. I don't know why the Kane Chronicles is coming to mind. I didn't say it was accurate. I said it was coming to mind.
Those are two different things.
They are.
I like the Kane Chronicles.
Oh, it's the best series from, Sorry, I got to killing slimes and lost my train of thought.
You were talking smack about Percy Jackson.
No, not really. I like Percy Jackson, but the King Chronicles are better.
Welcome back to Comrade's Hot Takes.
King
I can't
Chronicles
help
were
you.
better. Changed my mind.
Greek fire was not invented by the ancient Greeks. Rick Riordan. You lying jerk.
Yeah. You know, Greek fire is simultaneously one of the coolest bits of history and one of the least interesting bits of history. So there we go. There's something.
I don't think that like really fits with the way that this character made me feel, but sure.
Well, like, okay, so Greek fire, it's the substance that we don't know what in the world it is.
All right.
We don't know exactly
What it is. But it's
a
some sort of
napalm-like substance.
It's a napalm-like substance that sticks to everything, presumably burned green, and was commonly poured off the side of ships.
And
during
it floated
combat.
on water.
Yeah.
Smoke on
It was
the
invented by the
water.
Byzantines.
Byzantines.
Who, if you were wondering,
Yeah,
were not
that's pretty
Greek.
important.
They weren't Greek, but they were in control of Greece at the time.
Well, except they weren't.
They pretty much were.
No.
Yes.
They were the They were the Western Holy Roman Empire. The problem with this being that there was an entirely different government actually in control of Rome, and they were definitely not the most Western, they're where modern day Turkey is. It's a very misleading thing to have called themselves.
Yeah, they were a part of the Holy Roman Empire that was not really Roman, not really holy, and not really an empire. So, like, what do you want?
Them perhaps to not use those terms about themselves.
Comrade, they're over 1,000 years dead.
Yeah, but they're the ones who called themselves that first. I can get mad at dead people. Don't judge me. While I judge people.
You can get mad
You
at
said
dead people,
you say
but like
don't judge me, but I'm having the Game Grumps version of that statement going through my head.
Game Grumps version of that statement.
Yes, the Game Grumps version has a swear word in it. This is frustrating.
Anyway, back to this character. The only character in like all of fiction that I can compare them to in terms of just weirdness is Angela the Herbalist from Aragon.
The Angela.
Sure. She just like, because you know everything about this character that you need to know.
Even while knowing
But
almost
you know
nothing.
absolutely nothing about this character. Who are you? I'm Angela the Herbalist. What do you do? I'm an herbalist.
Thank you.
Where'd you come from? Over there. Alright, good talk.
Amazing.
Because she's the witch from over there.
But I mean, like, the first time you meet this character, it is the most It's you just know that she's gonna be a weird character from the moment you meet Angela. And then she proceeds to just be... She doesn't do anything, really, throughout the course of the series. But she's got this long and storied history that's kind of poked at and alluded to, making her, all at once, incredibly interesting and incredibly boring. And that's how this character in this book that I'm reading made me feel, because they just showed up, walked up to what is arguably the most powerful man in all of existence, who's probably in the process of going insane, insults him, casually asks him if he started hearing voices yet, and then just leaves. Just leaves. And everyone in the room is looking around going, is that lady a genius or insane? Because on one hand, she did make it out of that situation alive. On the other hand, she is the one that started that situation. And apparently, she's like 700 years old.
Nice.
Because we can.
They've already canceled church. I mean, we're supposed to be getting 35-mile-an-hour winds with heavy snow and sleet at times. Up to a foot of snow and sleet. More locally. Now, if that's our locality, I'm not sure. But, yeah, a bunch of really, there's just not a nice way to say this. I'll try my best. A bunch of very many years of experienced people trying to go out in that weather. It's a recipe for a funeral. Especially the ones coming out around Bent Mountain and down 20. I wonder how many boats it would take to start having lag if you used magma blocks to suck boat after boat after boat down the ocean floor.
Sorry, what was the question? How many what?
How many boats will it take before my map starts lagging if I suck a couple hundred boats to the bottom of the seafloor with magma blocks and leave them there?
I think less than a couple
with
hundred.
Frost?
Yeah.
Running on Frost, that's gonna be a tall order.
To try and make the game lag, or I won't make it to 200 boats.
To try and make the game lag, I mean, I'm fairly certain that you would start getting the things to despawn before they really started lagging anything.
I do have dedicated just to Java alone as much RAM as Comrade has in his computer. Which, considering he's playing and streaming, 8 gigabytes is nothing to sniff at, but 16. I'm actually upset that I only have 16, though. Because I spent the money to have 32. And got betrayed by the RAM company twice.
Oof.
Second time, I was like, well, 2 of the 4 sticks of memory work, and I'm also suspicious of the motherboard now, so we're just gonna leave it be. It's possible that this particular motherboard is not playing nice, but the RAM is permanently damaged. It's permanently corrupted. It really ticks me off because this is a very specific size of case. There aren't other motherboards. Motherboards that fill the case up properly. This is the only one. This is an ITX or a mini ATX case. The mini ATX is what you would see in a normal size, which you think of when you think of a full tower desktop computer. Mini ATX is in between that and the really tiny boards. If I use a really tiny board, I can only use 2 sticks of RAM anyway. Though I could get 2 sticks of 16, so I could still have 32 gigabytes of RAM. But the board will look ridiculous, even in this smaller case. So I'm left with trying to figure out, am I going to buy a new case and get a full ATX board? The only thing holding me back is that I really love this case. Well, that and money. Also, money is also a problem.
Yeah,
It's an eternal problem.
yeah.
There is dirt blocks.
I need to upgrade my PC at some point.
You mean from a laptop?
Yes.
There are dirt blocks
Because
everywhere in my home island. I tried to build a dirt thing to kill Enderman with, and it was an oopsie. Sorry, go ahead.
I wanted to... Oh, that scared the crap out of me. Okay. There was a cloud going through the creeper farm, and it was flashing white the way that creepers do when they're about to explode.
Oh boy.
And I wasn't paying total attention, and so I thought that a creeper was about to destroy the farm.
The creeper just wants to chug with you.
I just really want to.
But, shut up. But I wanted to. I was looking
you know
into...
I can't do that.
I know. But
It's a medical
I have
condition.
To at least,
Serious, please help.
I have to at least say something. Because if I don't say anything, then I feel like I'm just allowing you to get away with it for free. But I wanted to stream some Fire Emblem the other day, and I was getting everything set up, and I found that having my streaming software open on my computer brings me up to like 98% of my CPU being used.
Oh my.
So I was like, I don't think I'm streaming anything, actually.
On second thought,
On second thought, that's not physically possible.
Yeah, that's actually one of the reasons I'm so upset with not having the full 32 is you would think that I could not achieve maxing out the 16 gigabytes only playing Minecraft. You would be wrong. I can't play with shaders until I get more memory in the system. Unless I reduce my range below... What am I set to right now? I'm set to 28 chunks render distance, and I'm simulating mobs and other things in at 18 chunks around me. I have to greatly limit that if I install shaders, but shaders are so beautiful. Oh, I'm an idiot. I wanted to make sure I'm not building the proper platform for the Stargate in the end right now, but I wanted to ensure that I could walk through the gate properly. So I put a strip of dirt down in front of it, and then it disappeared. I'm going to be cleaning up dirt on this home island for the rest of my life.
Well, congratulations.
All right, let's dial up gate that we placed before this one. 18. 13. 1, 1, 1, 1, 2. Apparently, I also use dirt to pillar my way up to the little portal that takes you away from the home island also, which is slowly being carried away.
Did you guys bring any drinks today? Some
I have
liquid?
the basic drink that God created.
Sawata.
Earth sauce.
Okay then.
Earth Sauce 2.0. That's the unholy lava slushy.
What?
Earth Sauce 2.0.
It's the forbidden slushy.
Okay. Okay.
I actually do have some tea. Let me get the box.
Oh, he's got boxed tea. Fancy. Is that like boxed wine or?
Alright, I'm back. So, what are you mocking me for now?
I said boxed tea. Ooh, fancy. Is it like boxed wine?
Well, the last time you sent me an envelope full of tea, I assumed it was something else. No, this is Taylor's of Harrogate since 1886. Spiced tea.
Spiced
Black tea with spices and natural flavorings.
Mm.
Yeah, over the holidays, my brother knocked on my door and he was like, "Hey, do you remember so-and-so, Ma's coworker?" I'm like, "From 6 years ago?" "No." They go, "Well, they sent you some tea." So, that's the story of how I got this. As I said, it's Taylor's brand tea, and it's their Christmas blend.
So it's probably cinnamony?
No, you would expect that, but no. I don't understand this tea at all.
Is it good?
No. But also, yes. But then very much no. Every sip, I swear, every sip
The spice must flow.
is distinctly different flavor-wise.
Wait, it's holiday spices? And it tastes different.
It's crisp.
It's spice flavored and tastes different in every sip.
What are you on about?
Well, you ever read Dune?
No, comrade. Ed, you told me not to.
Oh, did I?
No, you told me it was like science fiction, space politics, and religion, and I went, so boring.
I didn't think the words "don't read this" left my lips. I just said it's "ite."
They did not. You explained it, and I came to my own conclusion that that's literally the most boring thing that you could have.
But like the MacGuffin of the book,
Don't much care for sci-fi. Is spice. Yes.
The MacGuffin of the book
It's
is
the
spice, and it tastes
spice.
different every time you eat it. So somebody
I thought the
gave
gimmick
you.
was that it tasted different for everyone.
It also tastes. It not only does it taste different for everyone, it tastes different every time they eat it.
Hmm.
And it tastes best the first time.
I'm not hallucinating alternate lives or futures. Except maybe one where I had a better cup of tea.
Taste almost, but not quite entirely unlike tea.
No, because like it's definitely black tea, and there's a ton of orange peel in this.
So it tastes a bit like. It tastes a bit like Earl Grey, probably.
No, it tastes nothing like Earl Grey.
Oh, okay.
Because like in that sip right there was no spice. It was entirely orange peel. I tasted only orange peel. And I swear, in about 5 seconds, when I take another sip, I'm going to get black tea and spice and taste no orange. Or something like that. It's weird. I legitimately, the first time I sat down with a cup of this tea, it smelled so good. And I was like, this is going to become my favorite tea of all time, and I'm going to be so sad that I can't get it time but around Christmas. And then I took a sip of it, and I was like, I was right. This is one of the most amazing things I've ever tasted. And then I took another sip of it, and I was like, this is the worst thing I've ever put in my mouth. And then I took another sip of it, and I'm like, no, this is just normal tea. And this just, I got more and more confused the longer this happened. And right now, I honestly couldn't tell you if I like this tea or not.
It's the kind of drink you hand somebody and be like,
see, there's the spice, and like...
I don't see. We need webcam, Jump. Webcam. We can see, and then we need smell-o-vision so we can taste.
Doesn't sound like we want to taste.
Dang it, Walt Disney, get on that.
Magical smell-o-vision win.
But like,
Who's hiding Willy Wonka when you need him?
See, like that time it had spice in it, and I could taste a little bit of orange, and there's a fair bit of black tea in that, but like, it was mostly spice.
And everything nice.
Okay. You've lost speaking privileges. More accurately, you've lost singing privileges.
You lose privileges, and you lose privileges.
Everybody's
Everybody
losing privileges.
Yeah, that's what happens once the commies get into power.
I was going to say it was my
No, it
parents'
doesn't.
parenting style, but still.
No, it doesn't, and you're going to be quiet about that now?
That's misinformation.
I see.
Independent fact checkers. Here's why this is false.
9 out of 10 independent fact checkers agree with me, and the other 1% disappear.
We just can't seem to find that 10th guy to confirm.
Oh no! He take long vacation to Siberia. Beautiful this time of year. Barely need coat. Did not give coat.
All right,
He would have said something if there was a problem. We are sure.
I posted a couple pictures of the finalized Stargate design that I'll probably use in most places that I place one.
Yeah, I see it. Cool.
Unfortunately, I can't see it, but if I tab out of the game real quick...
Originally the guy said you could put the dialer 16 blocks away. It is not 16 blocks. I could not get the gate to dial without it being this close. It's on the 9th block away from the gate instead of the 16th. I lied. The creeper did destroy one item permanently. My spruce boat seems to be gone forever. You were a good boat, spruce boat. You saw tens of thousands of blocks to be blown up by a creeper accidentally. Now I have to make the long paddle / run in an oak boat back to the cauldron. I already have big plans for the Stargate network too. I'm gonna have a huge terminal of the type of gate that only connects. Once you connect it to one gate, it'll only ever connect to that gate, but it allows you to you can actually rig it so you don't even need a dialer at that point. You can hit a button and it'll immediately dial that one destination it can reach. And so I'm going to have rows of those gates leading up to a master gate on a higher plinth area on the far end of the terminal that you can use to get anywhere. And I will have that will be the only gate for receiving. So any incoming travelers come through the master gate. I am nowhere near equipped to even begin designing such a building, though. I don't even have sea lanterns yet.
So if you didn't join us last week, Dream Thief has gone Java on us and downloaded a mod.
It's not a mod.
Okay, it's technically not a mod, but it's a mod.
It's a data pack.
Data packs,
which is exactly like a mod, but not.
Mods can alter the programming of Minecraft. Data packs cannot. Data packs can't do anything you could not do with a command block.
Right, but okay.
It is a big limitation.
I mean, sure, but like...
but yeah, so he's downloaded a data pack / mod thing that puts Stargates into his game. Like from Stargate.
Yes.
Hit TV series Stargate TM.
It was incredibly popular.
I know. I wasn't dissonant. I was covering my legal bases here.
I thought I was putting the Uh-oh, I don't have any torches. I thought I was putting the first disc for season 5 in a couple days ago. To my dismay, I was putting in the first disc for season 6. I'm like, it's already almost over.
So, wait. Were you rewatching through the series and put the wrong disc in, or you were rewatching through the series and thought you weren't as far in as you were?
I thought I wasn't that far in.
Okay. Those are two very different stories, and that could have been either one of them.
Trying to clear this temple I came across while running before the creepers start spawning, because I don't have torches. So that's interesting to learn about how chests work. So this temple has been loaded before. In fact, this chunk has been loaded many times, but I'd never gone into the temple.
Uh-huh.
But there's a Milky Way DHD in the chest, which means that
Chests don't spawn their things until they're first opened.
yes. I don't know if anyone else didn't know that, but I did not know that till now.
The one exception to that would have to be treasure chests. Well,
This is a treasure. Oh, the buried treasure chest.
yeah.
Not necessarily. They're just programmed to have to include a part of the sea. That doesn't mean that that chest is set.
True enough.
But this discovery just makes me very happy, because now I know for a fact that I can go to temples and other structures in chunks already loaded and find stuff that's helpful.
Wow.
What is nice about the data pack is it means that jungle temples and desert pyramids, which usually in the late game start to become very meh, will actually hold value for me no matter how deep into the late game I get.
Mm-hmm.
They'll never stop mattering.
No matter how deep game you get. Nice.
I said late game.
Right.
I said deep into the late game.
Yeah, I know. I'm not making fun of you. I was
I don't believe you.
I was making
You're mean to me.
I was making a deep state joke. Thank goodness. So I can taste aromatics again.
Oh, good.
But my coffee still tastes
I
like
would
nothing.
pay money to see you taste this tea in this state.
But my coffee still doesn't have that strong of a flavor to me. But I went with a mocha latte tonight. Broke out my espresso beans, added some chocolate syrup. It's
The gateway drug to coffee addiction everywhere.
Yes, mocha lattes. Usually I go with a more flat white approach, but today I had quite a bit of foam, so really was a
Look at you with your
latte.
coffee terminology.
Hello, pumpkins. Don't mind if I do. And she said, hello, country bumpkin. As the frost out on the
What
pumpkin.
kind of sadist created this?
What?
Ah,
A song?
No.
Okay, I was about to pull your hair out.
Speaking of songs, but we'll get back to that in a moment. What are we talking about here, Jub? What did a sadist make? Should I be interested, and should I take note?
Don't you always?
Well, there's this guy right now who is playing through Breath of the Wild, but it's a random. And apparently, this mod can randomize everything,
Okay.
including, what enemies spawn where, what items come out of chests, what weapons those enemies are holding. And so he's on the Great Plateau with absolutely no runes, no armor, and like one woodcutter's axe. And there's 2 guardians traipsing around in a white Lionel.
Sounds legit.
He's having a good day. The game just randomly confiscated
Was that-
23 rupees from him.
Is that Small Ant? It sounds like a challenge Small Ant would
It's
do.
Point Crow. It's Point Crow, so like Small Ant, but like the
Zelda version.
regional chain store brand, the Great Value version of Small Ant.
Yeah, actually, I was watching a couple Point Crow videos
For
the other day.
time, I didn't know that Small Ant and Point Crow were 2 different people. Like, I didn't pay any attention to who was playing, just the fact that there were these crazy challenges, and I was like, man, this guy is working overtime.
I was
Because
watching.
it just showed up in my
think
feed,
it was-
and I didn't actually watch any of the videos.
I think it was Point Crow that I was watching the other day, but he did like a challenge where he played Breath of the Wild, but every time people could like pay money to send him videos on Twitch, and if he laughed at them, Link exploded.
Yep.
Yeah.
How many Rickrolls?
Oh, not that many actually.
That's disappointing.
There was a Rickroll. But come on.
Well, there has to be.
Like, you can't just...
It has to be a skilled Rickroll, though. It can't just be...
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. See, like, back in the day, Rickrolling someone was as easy as just sending them the link. It was...
It was like a
Now you
whoopee
have to
cushion.
do
It's a joke shortcut. But now you gotta practice. You gotta try.
You have to hide
You
it
gotta...
deeper into the video.
Yeah, you gotta, like...
I think
You gotta set it up properly.
my favorite one, you can look it up. There's this video on YouTube that is a Rickroll, but it's hidden behind a waves crashing, and the title is something like calming wave sounds.
I do believe that's called cheating.
Nah. It's cheating. That's the perfect one.
It's so based, though.
What is based?
It's not cool enough.
Did you just call it based and not cool in the same sentence?
It can't be both.
It's either based or it's not cool.
It can't be both.
That's what based means. Essentially, it's not exactly what based means, but like, you can't be based and not cool. That's why James is the realest person that there ever was. Don't you forget it. Let's send those whining women back to the Dark Ages where they belong. Thanks, James.
I cannot believe they got away with saying that.
And then Ash just, yeah. Thanks, Ash. Amazing.
Ash is easily influenced by others.
Be like Ash.
Don't be like Ash.
I believe you said you had a music comment for us, Cameron.
Yeah. Recently, I discovered the song "The Battle of New Orleans" 18. Yeah, 18.
You only discovered
I
that
only discovered that recently. It is now my
don't know what you're talking
favorite historical song. And
It should be.
I have to.
Dream Thief over here being song elitist.
He's not wrong though.
He is wrong.
In 1814, we took a little trip along with Colonel Jackson down the mighty Mississippi. We took a little bacon and we took a little beans, and we found the bloody British in the town of New Orleans. Fired our guns and the British kept a-coming. Wasn't quite as many as there was a while ago. Fired once more and they began to running down the Mississippi to the Gulf of Mexico. Well, we fired our cannon till the barrel melted down, so we grabbed an alligator and we fought another round. Filled his head with cannonballs and powdered his behind, and when we touched the powder off, the gator lost his mind.
Now wait, you just skipped to the last verse here.
Well, I wasn't going to sing the whole song, but I wasn't going to leave that verse unsung either.
Alright.
Professions have standards, comrade.
Alright,
Yes, because that was a very profesh rendering of that song.
it didn't sound bad. It's pretty good.
Yeah, I started a couple notes too deep, which ruined the chorus.
Right, I am now sharing this to...
Yeah, that's what ruined the chorus.
Fired our guns and the British kept a-coming.
Not the fact that it's a bad song or anything. That's what ruined the chorus.
We fired once more and they began to running down the Mississippi to the Gulf of Mexico. Oh, I can take a screenshot in Java with F2, and I just took 2 screenshots of the grass.
I'll also admit that as somebody... I have a pretty good grasp of American history, and I had forgotten exactly how hard we trashed the British at the Battle of New Orleans.
Now, oh yeah, I was saying, I thought you meant the War of 1812. Like, they burnt the White House to the ground.
We still... Listen, that was the only victory they had.
It's like, we have destroyed the building, but we're all still here, though. Yeah, but, like, your morale is destroyed. Is it, though?
Unfortunately, after the War of 1812, we stopped using the tactics developed by Washington, which he learned from watching the Native Americans trounce the British and French, obviously, of, actually getting cover and letting the enemy come to you and things like that, because Napoleon was cool, and we want to be like Napoleon, because he almost conquered Europe. So we're going to march in lines at each other like Napoleon's teachings. and then the Civil
To
War.
be fair,
Napoleon lost several times.
Napoleon's teaching works in flat Europe. It's not even the greatest strategy in flat Europe, but it's only because Europe's flat.
It still costs so many more lives.
And it never works in Asia. Or America.
Well, he never got to find out if it worked in Asia because they just abandoned Moscow and just spoiled everything they couldn't take with them. Once again, proving that taking the capital doesn't actually end the war because Napoleon did take Moscow. He did get
Welcome to decentralized command.
He got 12 miles further than Hitler did.
Perfected by the Russians and the Americans.
And you can tell Napoleon's influence not just on the military tactics, but when you look at pictures of generals and lieutenants and things in the Civil War, on both sides, they all do that weird thing where they have their hand in the middle of their jacket's set of buttons. And they did that to imitate a famous painting of Napoleon.
It's almost like being cool was always a thing, even if they didn't have a word for it.
Yeah, being cool, adding a couple extra 100,000 deaths to the Civil War that wouldn't have happened if they had fought differently.
In fairness, that happened in World War I too.
Well,
but at least first of all, at least they dug trenches, so they still fought in lines, but at least you were still undercover. Although those trenches worked against you once they started.
Undercover with the trenches.
No, you're just in trench foot.
You're just entrenched for the artillery.
The trenches did provide some protection. The problem was
they then started to use
ground,
gas.
You had to take more ground. You had to get up out of the trench and run across the open ground.
Trenches are one of those things that sound really good until you actually try them the first time, and then
now trenches, if they had been using muskets or earlier rifles, it would have been fine. The problem was they had semi-automatic and automatic rifles. Well, not automatic rifles at that point because they were still the heating issue, but they had machine gun nests and they had semi-automatic rifles, which changed everything, but no one had fought a large-scale war. So in their defense, no one had fought that scale of a war before. With even 2 generations prior's technology, the trenches would have been amazing. And it would have been a lot easier to take enemy trenches.
But we also then developed, gas weapons at the same time, and so that's why trenches were so bad. It wasn't
I'm talking about gaining ground. Gaining ground. Trenches were a negative because you had to climb up out of them and run across open ground.
Trenches were so bad because of an amalgamation of different features that all popped up at exactly the same time for the same new First War that was so huge. That's why World War I was so awful. It was just there's too much new, and nobody understood it, and we used an older tactic.
We were still using cavalry. They were still attempting cavalry charges even years into World War I. That didn't stop after the first couple. They kept doing it. But it was once you have all of that technology, you're going to use it until it's gone. And then if you're Poland, you're going to give it one more college try in World War II.
Friggin' Poland.
You know what?
Hey, don't insult the Poles. They had combat bears. Combat bear.
They had one.
Poland and Finland.
Your argument's invalid. Poland had combat bear. fought very well for Motherland.
Poland and Finland had perhaps the biggest pair in the first half of World War II. I mean, well, Finland until spring came. Once spring came, Finland was screwed. But the fact that the Russians, who know how to fight in winter perfectly, were getting their butts handed to them by the Finns tells you that Finland has definitely got worse winters than Russia. At least where they train the military in Russia. But, I mean, Finland they were running their cavalry at the tanks to try and buy as much time as possible to get Britain involved and France involved. And they knew what happened in World War I. They weren't dumb. They knew that they were useless. But the Poland fought far longer than anyone expected them to fight. Just because they lost in a couple of weeks.
Wasn't it the Finnish who had that, like, sniper with, like, 100 or so confirmed shots?
I'm not
The
sure.
White
But
Death, and it was
yeah.
it was 200 and some confirmed kills.
Yeah,
He
Finland,
had his face shot off.
He still got the
Yeah.
kill on that one, didn't he?
I don't know.
Finland just said, you know what? We're going to send our best cross-country skiers out there because they also cross-country ski and hunt successfully, and we'll just have them hunt Russians instead of, whatever their, I don't know, they have elk there, whatever their equivalent of elk or deer is.
Reindeer.
Like, we'll just have them hunt Russians instead. Right. And the
Actually,
Russians...
reindeer are weird deer, because you can actually put them on farms.
The Russians did not appreciate that.
Simo, Hayha, but the A's have accent marks above them, and I've never seen that accent mark and don't know how to pronounce it. Oh, Wikipedia has.
So, but Finland held the Russians off for the entire winter. In the spring, the camouflage and the cross-country skiing was not possible. And Finland...
Simo Hayha is how saying it's pronounced.
I thought I had
He
a
was
stone
referred
cutter.
to as the White Death. He was a Finnish military sniper in World War II. During the 1939 to 1940 Winter War against the Soviet Union, he used a Finnish-produced M2330, a variant of the Mosin Nagant. He also used a submachine gun, the Suomi KP-31.
If I remember right, he essentially just used a hunting rifle with iron sights.
He was hardcoring on COD long before COD existed.
Firearms and tactics. No, he used a standard issue civil guard rifle, early series Sako M2830. The serial number was 35281. It's a Finnish civil guard version of the Mosin Nagant. Chambered in 7.62 by 53R. He preferred iron sights over the telescopic sights. You are correct. They enabled the sniper to present a smaller target for the enemies.
And they
relied on an extreme cold, and unlike telescopic sights, which tend to cloud up in cold weather, they're easier to conceal. And sunlight does not reflect off of the lens for that terrifying glare that we see in Battlefield 1. He also did not have prior training with scoped rifles, and therefore preferred not to switch to the Soviet scoped rifle, the M91B. I love this next section of the article. The cold did not bother him much, as he considered it an issue of dressing property with enough clothes, multiple layers. Kept sugar and bread in his pockets for energy to keep his body warm. He was 5'3".
Oh yeah.
No one said the Finnish were tall.
Yeah, I mean, He would frequently pack dense mounds of snow in front of his position to conceal himself, provide padding for his rifle, and reduce the characteristic puff of snow stirred up by a muzzle blast. And he was also known to keep snow in his mouth while shooting to prevent his breath in the cold air from giving away his position.
Dude was hardcore.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
on the 6th of March 1940, he was severely wounded after an explosive bullet hit his lower left jaw. He was found unconscious and believed dead after the battle. And when he was placed on a pile of dead soldiers, a fellow soldier looking for him on orders from his commanding officer noticed his leg twitching. He was evacuated by the platoon that said half his face was missing. The bullet had removed his upper jaw, most of his lower jaw, and most of his left cheek. He regained consciousness a week later, the day that peace was declared, and read about his own death in a newspaper.
Dude's just sitting there smoking because it's World War II.
Well,
in the hospital.
he wanted to continue to serve.
He's just like,
Says
okay.
He wanted to continue to serve in the Continuation War, 1941 to 44 as well, but he was not allowed to because his injuries were so severe.
My man. Okay, I need magically to have lots more dirt than I have.
Yeah, said to have at least 505 confirmed kills.
Wow.
Which, kind of blows the prior record out of the water.
505?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
The
This
deadliest
man is the
sniper in World War I had a confirmed kill count of 378.
Well, when you think about it too, his targets were not going to be...
Don't feel too
random.
bad. He probably needed to camp for the 100 kills that it took to get that nuke.
I'm going to smack you.
There's a reason why these snipers were so effective. The Russian army already had a lack of decent leaders thanks to Stalin. And then, when you're reading about hundreds of kills, you're reading about generals, lieutenants, et cetera, et cetera. You're reading about the handful of officers they did have being killed off.
Yes. This man is the entire reason that he alone is the entire reason that there's the meme of when the snow starts speaking Finnish.
In the end, I think Russia prefers us to remember them losing to the Finns for a season than to remember their evil communism history.
History?
Doing much to make us forget that.
History? What's the
Hush,
deal with Putin?
Hush. Comrade's gonna get disappeared. Like a whole bunch of other comrades throughout history.
Why are you trying to stop this from happening?
I have a shortage of friends.
Isn't this what you wanted, sir?
Be friendless? No.
I think it is.
Buddy, if I didn't want to have any friends, I would sign up for Reddit.
Well, my girlfriend's on Reddit, apparently. She has a Reddit account.
I have a Reddit
clear.
account. I don't
I
use
do
it.
not.
I forgot I had it until you mentioned.
this can of worms.
I
don't
forgot
remember
I
what we
even
were
had it
discussing,
before
but
anyone mentioned it.
we were discussing something, and I think I was asking her about what she watched on YouTube and stuff, and she doesn't really watch anything. It was kind of weird. She was screen sharing the other day, and she was looking something up on YouTube about dogs, and ads started playing, and it hit me all of a sudden that it always hits me like a truck when I see people that don't pay for a YouTube premium account. Because I'm so used to not having ads, and then all of a sudden there's ads, and I'm like, wait, what is this doing here? Why are we watching ads? Ads still exist on YouTube?
Not only is YouTube Premium an excellent way in order... Man, I hope YouTube pays me money for this. Not only is YouTube Premium an excellent way to no longer watch ads on YouTube, but it also gives you the benefit of being able to watch videos while your phone is not showing screen.
That was one of the big sell points for me.
YouTube Premium can shove it.
Ultimately, my joining of Premium was a free 3-month trial, and I was like, you know what? I'll give it a shot. I'll let it have a chance to convince me to part with my money.
And it's only like $7 a month. It's really
12.
Is it 12 now? It's pretty reasonable.
$12.71, I think. Yeah, it's not bad, but there was no going back once I tried it. I was like, okay, yeah, this is staying forever.
That's how they get you.
It's a good service. I don't feel like they're ripping me off. And creators actually do get a lot more of the share if the person watching their video is a
Yeah, you actually do give the creators you like more money from not watching ads.
well, because they get like 2 pennies off of an ad view at best. If they're super lucky, they might get a couple pennies. So premium is a much... I don't know why they get more from premium.
Well, it's because you're actually paying... Well, okay, so here, let's do the math. Let's say they get I think it's like twice as much, so they get like about 4 cents per video that a premium viewer watches. So that's 4 cents divided into $12. Which is something ridiculous. Like you've got to watch almost 1,000 videos a month for YouTube to not break even on that. So YouTube is making bank, and it lets the creators make more as well. We're currently not monetized for anybody watching, so like, I'm not telling you to get premium because I'm going to get money off of it. I think it's a pretty good service for what is already a really good service. It just makes it better. I don't harbor misconceptions. YouTube's not free for them to host. They can't just not make money, because like video hosting is very expensive, because you have to have like storage space to store all the videos, and this like 3-hour long video that we're like recording right now is like, well, we're not recording it, we're live streaming it, but like 3 hours of video is like it's a lot of memory. So you have to have like a ton of like space and storage space to like store just endless amounts of video content. So they have like terabytes on terabytes on terabytes on terabytes of like data just dedicated to storing the videos they host.
Did you guys know that you can't break deep slate with a spoon? I mean shovel. Sorry.
I did know that, actually.
I did know you couldn't break it with a spoon. Because that is not something that exists in the game.
It looks like a
What
spoon,
is
okay?
What is a shovel but a very large spoon?
Dirt
Thank
spoon.
you. I am justified.
Oh, don't use anything that I say to justify yourself. I am an idiot.
I mean, listen, you can have your dirt spoons and I'll have my shovels. It's a bit easier to say, actually. Shovel versus dirt spoon.
Alright.
Yeah, but like shovel doesn't tell you anything about what it is. If you don't know that word already, you're going to be confused.
Yeah, true.
Dirt
but
spoon.
You'd have to
spoon
know
is
2 words.
obvious.
You have to understand 2 words, though. Dirt and spoon.
Yes, but it gives you an immediate idea of its purpose, of its shape, its form and function described right there. Whereas shovel, that's an ethereal concept that you just have to come up with entirely from the ether.
While it is true that spades are technically shovels, and therefore dirt spoon doesn't even get across the idea of spades, which are also part of the concept of shovel. See, then you would have to say flat dirt fork. That just doesn't roll off the tongue.
No, you're thinking of a leaf fork. You might refer to that commonly as a rake.
Yeah, but I'm talking about talking about spades, which are flat dirt forks.
Spades are not forks.
They are what you would get if you made a fork flatter and without prongs.
Comrade, that's like saying an airplane is what you would get if you made a car able to fly, have wings, and significantly bigger. If you changed everything about it, that's what it would be.
Well, then how would you describe a spade, sir?
I would describe it as a sharp-pointed derp spoon.
Derp spoon?
Dirt spoon.
It is a derp spoon now.
It's a sharp-pointed dirt spoon. I don't understand what's so complicated about that.
Okay.
You know, I gotta tell you, out of all the instruments out there, the hurdy-gurdy is certainly one of them.
That is true. It is one of them. It is an instrument.
Oh, that is such a big issue. That issue really scares me. There's one big drawback to the Stargates. There's a small chance when you go through that you just fall through the world. Otherwise, a wonderful technology.
Slight chance of immediate death and loss of all items. But aside from that, just fantastic.
All right, back to producing charcoal, and
I will say I have had the scary moment a couple times, but if you hold W and you keep walking forward until the gate on the other side is loaded fully, I've not yet fallen through the world because of it. Just had some scare moments. Also, walking instead of running through the gate seems to help as well.
so you've never fallen through the world, but you felt like you could have fallen.
Oh,
through
I
the
have.
world. Oh, you have fallen.
When
through
traveling over really long distances, it's happened to me once.
And you went back to your spawn point then, having lost all your
Yes.
items.
Yes, and there is no way to get those items back. They are gone forever. Because they entered the void with you.
I kind of want to finish one of these spires before closing the stream for the night.
Is it really that time?
We're almost 2 hours in.
Well,
Man, time flies when you're recategorizing basic instruments into more complicated versions of themselves.
I thought you weren't in school.
He was talking about the hurdy-gurdy. Weren't you paying
I was
attention?
talking about the dirt spoon.
Oh.
Well, that too. We were discussing dirt spoons.
The hurdy-gurdy is interesting. I found a song played on the hurdy-gurdy the other day, and I have listened to the video probably something like 40 times now.
Do you not have a life? I mean, I know
It's
you
a
don't have
good-
a wife.
This has been
Do you not have a life?
this has been established several times that he does not, just like the rest of us, except you now.
And yet I still find time to overdose on Minecraft.
There are significantly worse things to overdose on than Minecraft.
Not many, but most of them drugs.
What do you mean, not many?
I'm pretty sure the grape juice is one of those ones you don't want to overdose on.
Grape juice?
Yeah, if you take too much grape juice, you and the bathroom are going to be good friends for a long time.
Oh no.
Laxatives.
You understand that, like, a lot of other overdoses will just straight up kill you.
Yes, but Elvis died overdosing on grape juice.
He did not.
I know.
He did not.
He died.
He died overdosing on things that did the opposite of grape juice.
Creeper, creeper, creeper. I don't have my bow.
You were shouting creeper as a creeper was blowing me up at the same time. Coincidence? I think you stream sniped.
I still don't have an end chest. My bow is in the end chest. I literally don't have a way to get past him. He's at the Stargate. Will he aggro over here? No? Okay. Alright, I need to get back to the original base again.
Comrade, did you have a chance to watch the Sword Art Online Abridged episode today?
I have not. I got home, having brought my sister, from Ohio to Tennessee, and at that point it was an hour before stream, and I decided to spend my time showing her Hell of a Boss.
You could have spent your time doing literally anything else.
And I actually forgot that Sword Art Online had a abridged release today, or else I probably would have watched that instead.
Yeah, I know. See, the thing is, somehow, anything less wholesome than Sword Art Online Abridged, and you spent your time doing that.
I mean, hey, Hell of a Boss at least has Moxie and Millie.
You got Moxie, kid.
That's the joke. He doesn't.
He is
Right.
legitimately the worst, like, at that he is.
He's what?
So, the worst at everything.
That
he does.
individual has, like, he's got like half a gram of testosterone in his body.
And all of it was
He
spent
spends the
learning
entire
how to
series
be a sharpshooter.
looking for it.
Well, no, because he listen. He might not be good at shooting people, but he is good at shooting guns.
You understand that his entire job description is
shooting
people,
Yes,
right?
he's got the
He can't get the murder right.
He has
but
the
he's got everything
technique
else
down. He's got the technique down, and he is the crack shot of the group.
That's not difficult to do. His competition is melee weapons fanatic and whatever the heck their boss is.
A
His
stand-up
mind and his body are not connected.
Their boss is a stand-up comedian turned hitman.
No, he is a Broadway stage play actor turned hitman.
Sounds legitimate to me. Doesn't sound legit to you, Job?
Nothing about this show is legit.
What about Legit?
Might be that.
No, Linnaeus isn't here. That's a New Vegas reference.
Wayo.
Neither of you have played New Vegas.
Nope.
I only played Fallout 4, and I was not a fan.
Comrade, I know for a fact you have New Vegas.
Yep. Been waiting to play it on stream and haven't got around to that yet. I'd offer to do it tomorrow, but I might actually be busy tomorrow. If I'm not, I might shoot you a message around 3 o'clock and boot it up and play some.
'Cause I just can't wait to begin. I hate that song. Why is it in my head?
Everybody look left. Everybody look right. Everywhere you look, I'm standing in the spotlight. Na, 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 na. Now it's in my head. I'm going to punch you.
I'm not gonna
I
blame
will-
you.
I will find a way to reach through the internet to punch you. I know I said I couldn't do that last night, but I will do that.
Oh, speaking of last night, if you were looking forward to our Dungeons of Dreadmore stream, the reason that didn't happen is because
Incompetence.
essentially right before as I was getting ready to stream, my PC just decided it needed 3 different downloads all at once and 3 different restarts, and it took a total of 2 hours to get this thing functional. So from 7 to 9, I accomplished nothing as I waited on this computer to just do anything. And then I gave up and started a new Minecraft world.
To his credit, he was not being whiny about it. Unlike someone
that's
who
true.
was whining a heck ton last night.
Twas not me. Exactly.
I deserved to whine. Or I had a right to whine. Stupid food table.
Did you though?
That's what I'm going with.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. That's your story, and you're sticking to it.
That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Found out something interesting about the DHDs. If you place one, when you pick it up, the name is exactly the same, but you cannot stack them. Once you've placed it, it's a non-stackable item for some reason. I don't understand.
Not even with other placed DHDs.
Haven't tested that yet because I don't have the storage space to start testing things like that.
What might be happening is
They are renamed bat eggs. If that means anything.
Being renamed is why it won't stack. If you rename a stick, that stick won't stack with other sticks.
I don't know. Whatever. I mean, it's not that big of a problem. It's just a little frustrating to deal with. Oh, I brought home so much loot, and now I can finally sort it out. There's so much here. It's beautiful.
Okay, well, let's go ahead and get this done. Bless you.
Bless you, my child.
Dream Thief, final time. You're not a priest. Stop saying that. Unless you are actually my long-lost biological father, in which case I'm going to need to punch you square in the face.
But also,
We're gonna have bigger problems than that.
I'm gonna have to figure out a timeline on that whole thing.
So we got some time travel issues here at the minute.
I'm doing the math, and I'm doing the math on like the genealogy here, and there's some negative numbers. I'm not certain what that means. Gosh, it reminds me of there was a hi Shadow.
Shadow joined the voice chat.
I was watching a movie and I didn't want to stop. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine.
That's okay.
I just
We were
can't
just
hear when people
renaming
join.
shovels.
Yes,
Maybe
apparently.
I'm glad I missed that.
Apparently, they are hitherto known as dirt spoons.
Never mind. I actually like that.
You're
See?
Because apparently
Comrade just
shovel
likes
is too complex of a term for our lizard brains, and the dirt spoon, which is two different concepts, is a much simpler and easier to grasp thing.
Well, see, if you understand dirt and you understand spoons, it makes perfect sense. This is just a shovel is a third unrelated thing that you have to learn.
I mean,
So we're
I
just taking
understand
two
dirt
things that you
and
should
spoons.
already know. Yeah. So like we're taking this third thing that you would have had to learn separately and just making it what it really is, which is a combination of the first two things that you needed to learn. It's much more elegant. I have completely forgotten what I was going to say.
We all have.
Oh, there you are. Sorry, I was looking around for a Skelly Boy archer who was begging for death, and who am I to tell him no?
Not nighttime.
Oh, yeah.
Apparently he spawned during the nighttime and was standing under a birch tree,
Oh.
which I am deforesting because I'm going to turn every bit of this surrounding area into a deserted wasteland of fire and lava anyway. So who cares if I deforest all the trees right now? They'd be gone anyway. And at least somebody gets to use the wood. Turn it into the charcoal it deserves to be.
Suppose that's certainly one way to do it.
I was trying to figure out what my prismarine chest is, and I remembered that it's in Bedrock, not Java.
Dream Thief, if you didn't like it, you could have just said so.
Didn't like what?
The thing that I made,
What are you talking about?
that I sent you a picture of, asking you if you liked it.
What did I
It's too
say?
late now. You didn't say anything. I'm already
Probably
taking
just-
it apart.
Did I not hit enter?
I'm taking it apart, so it doesn't matter anymore.
What do you think? It looks good. I'll be in the Silvercraft chat for the night soon. I responded literally within 60 seconds because the timestamps are the same.
I didn't get that. It's because it was on my phone.
That's not my problem. That's your fault.
That may be. I'm still taking it apart, and it's too late now.
It doesn't really affect me, so...
Your argument is valid, but but still.
I mean, I can't say I didn't get it in that it wasn't on the timestamp he said it was, because that would be a lie.
Yes, it would.
Where's my stinker? Oh no, where did I do
I'm gonna
it?
be
Oh,
right
I've
back.
got it.
Gonna microwave some lasagna and blow my nose.
That's two things.
Those are two
But they
unrelated
can-
things, and
But they
they're
can be
not
done
going
at the
to
same
happen in
time.
that order. They cannot.
Yeah, you put the pot. Yeah, they put the lasagna in the microwave, and while it's microwaving, you blow your nose. Done at the same time.
Yeah, but one of
Efficiency.
those is significantly pressing the other, and it's getting worse now that I'm standing here explaining this to you.
You didn't have to stay.
Alright. Excellent. Caught that in 4K on stream. Alright. Let's see.
I don't know how tall this is. Oh.
Well, it's taken 2 full days. Well, really,
Minecraft
it's
days,
taken
real life days.
it's taken 9 hours to get
Those are
from where I wanted to be yesterday when I sat down to play and where I am now. All I wanted was the transport rings to build an elevator. I wasn't trying to build the Stargate system yet. But DHDs are more common than the elevator rings. Now I have a Stargate system. I have all my treasure unloaded, and I can start working on building a mine.
If I finish and end up hating this, I'm gonna be so mad.
Okay, let's see.
Right, where are the rest of my sea lanterns? Nope. Nope. Come on, I know I didn't use them all. I have 2 shulker boxes in my pocket. They're probably in there. Nope.
Well, let's see. It turned into nighttime, so time for bed.
Yeah, I'm asleep.
I have to get back to my house. Fortunately, the front door is like right here.
I don't have a front door.
It's more of the back door, really, but it leads straight to the bedroom. 1 out of 3 players sleeping.
That's because Jub has stepped away.
Oh, Jub joined the server.
I'm gonna take my bed with me and go try and find my sea lanterns.
It's not letting me place seeds in this one spot, and I don't know why. The skeleton
Too
broke
far
it.
away from water?
No, it's in a normal farm.
Where are the sea lanterns? Oh, I bet I put them over here. No, but that's where my stone cutter is. What? I know I didn't run out. Where else would they be?
There was an update last night to Android, and it's terrible and awful and no good.
Why?
It changed the font that notifications are displayed in, and it's not Comic Sans, but it's not a very good font.
I haven't even noticed.
Did you update your phone last night?
Yeah.
All of the notifications
supposed
are
to update last
really
night.
tiny. Meaning if you want any information now, you have to expand the notification, which pretty much means that you've got to actually check every notification.
Oh, see, I'm actually okay with that. That's why I haven't noticed.
You didn't even notice the font change?
No.
Okay.
No, but them being smaller. I'd much rather have to push the arrow down on every notification.
Yeah, I feel like I'll be fine with the roof once I change the floor.
Because I get so many YouTube notifications that it just starts deleting them.
My phone doesn't do that.
I mean, I check my phone often enough. There's never that many notifications on it.
Oh, my pockets are full.
Okay.
Okay. Come in.
Alright, I'm going to take a small break because it's been 2 hours. My dog needs to go out. I'm going to get a snack and then come back in here and stream for a little bit longer.
Okay.
Because what I want to do is I want to go ahead and finish the tower that I started on tonight. I want to finish it. I'm almost done. So we can finish that, which should take another hour or so of work, because I've got to... Basically, I have some more bricks and stuff to smelt, and then that'll be done. Well, I say that, but I also need to go out and get some blackstone. But getting blackstone's going to be relatively easy, because I know where another bastion is. So I'm going to go get blackstone. I'm going to get some
Oh, no!
more nether brick. and then we're gonna finish this and add the lava touches to it, and that'll be done, and I will feel good about what I've accomplished tonight. But this will all start by going to a Be Right Back screen, and I'll be back in a few minutes, having gotten myself some snacks, and maybe something else to drink. So, back in a moment. Hello. Welcome back. My desktop is still muted while Dream Team finishes venting about farmlands in Java.
And I'm still hungry.
All right.
No, that's fine. I'm not judging. I was
So
just asking.
the farmland that I had planted with the wheat originally before the skeleton broke the seeds was planted before the second floor went on this building. I didn't know that in Java you can't plant a seed in perfectly good farmland unless the light level is 8 or higher. So I'm sitting here in the middle row that's furthest from the light on each side, fighting to get seeds to plant, and apparently I just needed to put a torch down first. I can break the torch afterwards and the seeds will stay. But no, you can't plant the seeds.
So you can't plant in the middle of the night in Java?
I guess not.
Sounds like-
Weird.
Alright, my game is paused, Shadow. I'm listening.
Okay, so here's the deal. I'm building on top of the banquet hall, which is, as you know, quite a long span. I don't
Yes.
need the tool room to be that long. I don't need that much space for this. So, I cut it in half or a third. But so I had to build up a black stone wall for the back wall of it. So I did that, and then I built it up so I would reach the next floor, because I have a cutout on the next floor so I would know where it was. But then I built it one higher because that's what I had Blackstone for. So I did that, and then I was trying to figure out how tall to make this room, and then I realized that I make indented roofs for one, and for two, I can make the floor for the next floor a different thing than the roof on this floor.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why it was 2 blocks off, because it's not actually 2 blocks off. I just built it higher.
Than you meant to.
No, it's fine to be built how high it is. I just got
Okay.
confused.
Got it. We're cool.
Right. So I'm back
Okay.
at it. Having gotten myself a cheese plate and taken my dog to the bathroom. Living the fancy life here with cheese plates and whatnot.
Do you have an actual cheese plate with a little cheese knife and everything, or are you just calling it a cheese plate and it's really a dinner plate?
Okay, so I have an actual cheese knife that I use to slice the cheese, but instead of taking all of my time to slice the cheese while I could be running around in Minecraft, I decided to go ahead and pre-slice the cheese and put it on a plate, making it an actual cheese plate that was sliced with an actual cheese knife with legitimate cheese crackers.
I need more deep sleep.
It is a complete cheese plate with home-smoked sausage.
Is that the cheese?
That is the cracker.
Okay. Oh, nuggets.
I
What
have
kind of nuggets.
Chicken nuggets. like
I
the
have
nuggets right
3
there.
different cheeses to choose from, 3 different crackers to choose from, and sausage to go with it.
The only
It's about
downside
as-
of this.
About as legit of a cheese plate as you get.
There is one downside to this room. There's only one access point. It's at the end of the hall, so it should be fine.
I put my elytra in a chest before I end up regretting everything when I go into the nether.
I wonder what would happen if you installed the see-through portals mod onto a map with the Stargate data pack. It would ruin Stargates if you could see the destination through the ring and there was no shimmering puddle. It is nice if you're playing with just nether portals because you never have to load the nether. The nether it just loads additional chunks that are nether chunks. And then you walk past the nether gate and you can see right into the nether. No load times. If you have the RAM, it's fun.
I see.
Alright, I need to finish... Do I want to finish this building I've been thinking about for...
Oh, so me.
Probably 4 weeks, or do I want to actually start my mine?
I'm in the nether, so don't worry about me.
I'm in bed.
So let me go ahead and brag about my cheese for a little bit.
Who wants to jub with you?
What?
I really just want him to sleep.
Oh.
I inserted Jub into the Chug Chug song, that's what.
I'm gonna need you to not.
Okay, so I'm not the only one who isn't.
You're too late for that one there, Jub. Old boy, old buddy, old...
Uncomfortable? No. Irritated? Yes.
He had his name besmirched by adding it to a bad song.
No. No. Yellow Submarine is a bad song. Everything made by the Beatles is a bad song.
Get out of here.
It's Friday by Rebecca Black is a bad song. Baby by Justin Bieber is a bad song.
Son, you
That
picking a
song
fight
is a travesty.
with that Beatles comment.
It is a blight against humanity itself.
I need you to apologize for that Beatles comment.
No. You know, the Beatles once wanted to make a Lord of the Rings movie starring themselves, but Tolkien killed the project because he hated the Beatles.
Yeah, well, Leonard Nimoy was allowed somehow to sing his Bilbo Baggins song, so...
Because Leonard Nimoy is better.
That song is not good.
I agree. But
Doesn't
it still
matter. It's better than the Beatles.
I'm gonna be fair to the Beatles here for a moment, that famously Tolkien was known as the grouchy old man archetype.
The what?
So, grouchy old man archetype. So, him being upset about these newfangled kids and their rock and roll music is not necessarily...
Beatles didn't make rock and roll. There is nothing rock and or roll about what the Beatles did.
It's very true.
Tolkien developed this animosity towards the Beatles by living near them, near enough that he could hear them practicing. And the man that developed an entire world with ecosystems and cultures and invented new languages and all of the rules thereof and the complex history spanning thousands of years. A man who described a tree and a meal in such amazing detail it took up an hour and a half of an audiobook, described the practicing sounds of the Beatles as indescribable.
I mean, I figure it probably sounded like a bunch of high school kids who obviously knew how to play a few instruments, but were also cracked out of their mind on cocaine at the moment.
None of them knew how to play an instrument. If they did, they wouldn't have made any of the songs that they did. It's like, this is a sin against the natural world. and against music itself. Release it.
I'm tempted to use another brick, but I feel like that's a very dark mistake.
Release the Kraken.
I've got a wood floor, got deep slate columns, glowstone lighting. The next course of action is either quartz or nether brick.
Though I will say I do it.
Don't know what.
While I like the occasional Beatles song, I will admit that Yellow Submarine is pretty bad.
Depends on the version.
My dad likes to torture me with it.
There is a version where partway through they're actually having a little sing-song, but they're essentially having a discussion about something on board an actual sub, which was pretty fun.
That's like saying, that's like if someone says, you know, getting shot in the head is really not a pleasant experience, and you come in and go, it depends on the caliber.
I like the Beatles. You can get out.
You're allowed to be wrong.
I mean, Eleanor Rigby? Oh my goodness, what a song.
Hey Jude's the Beatles, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I actually don't like Hey Jude as much.
Really?
Hey Jude is actually a little annoying.
Hey
to me.
Jude is my favorite Beatles song.
Blackbird might be my favorite Beatles song.
Personally, I don't like any of the stuff after they get cracked out, but I like most of their early work.
I don't know. Octopus's Garden was a
You
pretty
mean-
good cracked out song.
You mean all of the music that they ever made always?
No, there's an obvious difference between their early stuff and they went all in on the cocaine.
Listen, they may have doubled the amount of cocaine, but that doesn't mean that they weren't on it to begin with.
When I say there's an obvious difference, there's a stark contrast between the eras, enough that enough that I just use the word eras, and anybody who listens to Beatles songs know what I'm talking about.
All distinctly different, and yet all still somehow the worst music ever composed.
You can keep talking your blasphemy. I'm like literally blasting Blackbird in the background right now, so you can't harm me with your foolish words.
I just feel like netherbrick is the right choice. I like quartz. I don't like quartz with deep slate.
I would rather listen to an on-stage composition by Tchaikovsky.
Is that an insult to Tchaikovsky?
Well, I mean, he did think cannons were a musical instrument.
And he's
are.
not wrong.
I'm sorry, I like Tchaikovsky.
Stravinsky is obviously.
I think you mean Freedom Notes?
Freedom Notes.
Freedom Notes.
Listen, I hate really loud noises. Let's see, cannons aren't music, cannons are cannons.
They used to fire a cannon every evening before dinner at Horseshoe Scout Reservation, and they never warned anybody, so family night was hilarious. You see,
Because the Boy Scouts didn't warn the families either.
well, of course
They're
not.
Boy Scouts.
Of course not. Yeah, and none of the men that were scoutmasters and assistant scoutmasters warned visiting family either.
Good.
So it was
For men.
all of us wanted to watch as they
Because they're
people
men.
jumped out of their skins.
I'm sorry. When my best friend, when I went to her Anglican church and everybody did a collective congregational stomp, she warned me first.
You bang, you stomp,
Well-
you bang, you stomp. Bless my soul, you bang, you stomp. Sorry, I went 1950s
Oh,
there.
beautiful. Beautiful.
You know that I don't. Is that 1950s or 60s?
Don't know. I wasn't alive for either.
Oh, You Bangy Stomp was actually 1977. Okay. Yeah, Joe probably doesn't like Stairway to Heaven either. What is this now? Raise the Titanic YouTube movies. What
I
is
should have
this?
just used full blocks. That was stupid.
Ooh, that looks nice.
Thank you.
I mean, I can't see what you're making, but I'm quite pleased with how this tower is coming out. What is Jub doing?
I don't know.
I don't know, but he's about to get muted.
Was that Pock Bell?
Yes.
Here we go.
Okay.
So, the movie Raise the Titanic,
Oh, we're supposed to sleep.
a group of Americans are interested in raising the ill-fated ocean liner Titanic. One of the team members finds out the Russians also have plans to raise the ship from its watery grave. Why all the interest? A rare mineral on board could be used to power a sound beam that will knock any missile out of the air when entering U.S. airspace.
No.
Apparently, when they made the movie in 1980, we had not found the Titanic yet. So the Titanic lies at 12,500, and apparently Clive Cussler was involved in this, and they guessed the depth was 12,347 feet. It's shocking that they were so close.
In fairness, we found the Titanic by lying about looking for the Titanic.
Unfortunately, just clicking through, I can't tell if they actually raised the Titanic or if they pressurized a room on the Titanic using a submersible.
So,
Okay, yeah, they pressurized an area on board the Titanic.
I was about to take a picture of my new room.
Wait,
I
wait, wait,
realized
give me a
there wasn't
second.
anything in it. I need 16? No, that's not right. No, that is right. I need 16 item frames. I'm not sure that's possible. No, but I can have 12. I need to go find
Oh
some
no,
cows.
they actually raised the damn thing. Even in 1980, how they be thinking this thing was going to be in one piece? Eyewitnesses said she broke in half.
Well, according to the
I was
Wikipedia article,
Bruce.
many schemes have been proposed to raise the Titanic, including but not limited to filling the wreck with ping pong balls, injecting it with 180,000 tons of Vaseline, and using 500,000 ton of liquid nitrogen. No, 500,000 tons of liquid nitrogen to encase in an iceberg that would float to the surface.
I realized that there's a block of gold in my fishy area. Poor fishies.
And they raise it with another 30 minutes of movie left to go, apparently.
Well, I'm
Wonder
down
how long-
4 item frames.
How long do they keep it afloat? That's the question. Alright, we got some
So
people
that would
boarding
be
her.
diamond, that would be netherite. This is iron. And that would be gold. Oh, I don't need 16, I need 18! Darn it. I need to go find something to kill. Give me leather.
Oh yeah, I was going to talk about my cheese plate. 'Cause I'm quite proud of the selection I have here of cheeses. I have a Irish cheddar, a nice white Irish cheddar, because no cheese plate is complete without a nice semi-sharp cheddar. And then
Actually,
I have a lesser-known cheese called a Dubliner.
All of your cheese Irish.
It is, that one is also Irish, but no, I have a non-Irish Havarti. Actually, where is Havarti from? Sounds vaguely Swiss.
Do cows come out in the rain?
What?
Do cows come out in the rain?
If you're asking whether or not cows can spawn in rain, the answer is I believe yes.
And where are all of the cows? It's a sheep, but I want a cow.
Spawn rates are just lowered in the rain.
I need cows. Maybe a plane would help. Pieces of leather.
Polished basalt. Basalt.
Oh, I guess this is food. Take the food. Ah, it's raining. Fire aspect doesn't work in the rain anymore.
Does
never
fire
did.
fire aspect
Used to.
fire aspect does still cook meat that you kill with it in the
Not
rain.
in the rain.
It does.
No, it doesn't. Not anymore.
Wow, that's a really
Ever
lame
since
ending to that movie.
1.18, it hasn't.
So they do spend most of the movie fending off with the Russians while they try and figure out how to raise the Titanic, and the U.S. does get it, tows it back. I'm assuming it goes to New York. I didn't pay that much
Our
attention.
ship.
Actually, it was British, but
Well, Brits didn't.
in fact,
Brits
it
didn't
wasn't.
have a claim.
It
Cow.
it was an RMS, which means it was a Royal Mail ship. It was not just a cruise ship. But fake grave, they didn't need to go through the process of raising the Titanic. Also, I think they were calling it...
Doesn't that kind of invalidate the struggle of the last hour and a half?
Yes. I think they were calling it Byzantium, too. I was just like, you've got to be kidding me. It's not the first time that's been used to be a mineral name for a fake thing.
I think it's an actual mineral now. It's been a while since I looked at the weird end of